Now I must say that was one hell of a video, Trollson. But what was it supposed to be? In terms of video quality, I'd give it a 5. It was actually put together rather nicely, according to critique. But I really can't call it racism because furries aren't a race, and I really can't call it bigotry because that's the same thing, so I'm just going to go ahead and call it ignorance, perhaps. Anyways, this is Cloud Strider. Welcome to my other podcast, Furry History. That's right, you guessed it. I'm a furry. Let the flames come on. Now, as you can probably guess, I'm not exactly afraid of getting flamed. In fact, I won't even delete any of the comments that I get flamed with. So, bring it on. I actually find them rather entertaining, and I'll only mark them as spam. But I will read every single comment that comes into my videos, positive or negative. Now, if somebody actually comes up with a valid argument, I might pay more attention to it, but this is just something you're going to have to decide for yourself. Especially you, Trollson, because pretty much all I've seen you do is flame, and that's not exactly a valid argument. But we're getting way off track here. I'm making a furry war video when I should be making a video about furry history instead. Now, I figure a good place to start would be a man named Mark Merlino. Oh, jeez. I don't even know where to start with this psychopath. Before I go on, all of my sources on Mark Merlino came from Wikipedia and crushyiftdestroy.com. That's Wikipedia and crushyiftdestroy.com. Those are my sites for this. But anyways, this guy, he started off like any other furry, wanting to get in it for the anthropomorphic animals and being able to draw them. But later on in his furry career, he took it a step further and eventually ended up plaguing the conference halls. Conference being the furry convention. But it's I don't even want to talk about this asshole. Basically, it's all his fault that furries are in the predicament that they are now. All his fault. Well, almost all of the blame goes on him. There were quite a few other people that were like him that berated the furry community. But he's the one that I feel that had the biggest role to play. While he never actually went so far as to have sex with animals, he still took it as far as to blur the line between reality and fantasy. Now, don't get me wrong. Go ahead. Have a spirit animal. Go ahead. Look at furry hentai. I don't care. I'm my own type of furry. I draw anthropomorphic animals and that's it. But this guy literally took it a step further. He went out of real life. He played a game. I can't remember what it's called. You'll have to go to Crush Yift Destroy to find out in the article. But he played an RP that pretty much screwed up his mindset, and it went from there. Now, a big reference in this game, a big part of this game was the sexual interaction that you had with other characters. I know it's a bit creepy, but that's what I think screwed him up pretty bad, is that he got into all these perverse fetishes, and since he was such a big voice in the furry community, he went on to conference, and I can't remember if he went to any other furry conventions, but he went on the conference and started to share this little deviance of his. Now, before at the convention, like any other convention, anime convention, any other convention but game conventions, there was something sexual involved. Well, E3 can count the booth babes, but I'm talking like really sexual. But like any other convention, there was something sexual involved. And there were people drawing anthropomorphic animals having sex with each other. Like any fandom does. But he took it so far as to go into conference and literally take his work into there. And since he was such a big voice in the furry community, it eventually ended up being a big part of the furry community. And, jeez. He's just, if you ask me, I think he snapped. He lost all his mindset, he lost his grip on reality, and he just went cuckoo. But I don't know where Mark Merlino is now. I don't know if he's watching this video or if he's on some pervert site or something. But I guarantee you he's not doing a very good thing where he's at. This guy is not your normal furry, not your normal person. I just don't even I really don't want to talk about this guy, but I have to because he's such a huge part of furry history that I have to. But basically, that's my introduction, and that's a big part of how the furry fandom went downhill. There were other parts that I'll be covering in later episodes, but I won't just be covering how the furry fandom has been degraded. And luckily, we're getting more popular, and we're getting a softer light cast on us. But I just don't think it'll happen for a while. I don't think we'll be totally accepted for a while. I don't think we'll ever be totally accepted, actually. We could be a fandom just like any other. We really can. If we try and we get a solid definition of furry, then we really can. I think we can do it. This is Cloud Strider, signing off.